Hi everybody, thanks for joining us on another episode. Well, actually, just joining me. I'm on my own at the moment, just sitting here in another beautiful Cambodian cafe called the Beanery in Penghorn, now. Very, very nice. Had my iced coffee already, ready to go. So, today I wanted to talk to you about why I date a Cambodian woman, Sophony to be exact. Okay, so there's various different reasons why I do this, and I guess we can start from the beginning, from going back a very long time ago. When I was married to an Australian woman back in Australia, 19 years together, turned very, very bad. As most of you would know, that eventual divorce, they're never fun, that's for sure. As one of my older brothers said, one of the worst financial decisions you could ever make in life. He was spot on with that one. After trying the dating scene for a number of years after that, I really struggled to connect to Australian people. I'm a non-drinker, so I certainly didn't hang around the bars or anything like that to meet people, which is not really the ideal place to meet your future wife. I'm sorry for all of those that haven't met your wife there. It's not my scene. So I started looking at alternatives. Now, if you had said to me back then that you'd be living in an Asian country in a relationship with an Asian woman, I probably would have laughed at you. And I'll be honest about that. I probably would have laughed at you. I've seen and witnessed some things from Australian men who had gone to different Asian countries, married or met, and things didn't go so well for them down the track. So I certainly didn't want to do that. And I was just happened to be, I guess you could call Johnny on the spot. And I came over to Cambodia, some friends over here living, Australian friends, who introduced me to somebody that they knew. Not a close friend at all, just somebody that they knew, and that happened to be Sophony. At that stage, she spoke absolutely no English at all, besides a simple hello or a simple thank you. And even thank yous weren't that common, to be honest with you. So that was an interesting start. But what did happen is we somehow formed some sort of strange connection, even though we come from completely different cultural upbringings, completely different languages, completely different lifestyles, yet we still seem to connect somehow. Now, I want to bring your attention to something straight away. There is a 12-year difference in our age. I'm 53 currently, she's currently 41. Now, in saying that, that is not the norm for Cambodia at all. Okay, so you will not find too many foreigners, expats, with wives or girlfriends 12 years younger than them here in Cambodia. It is very, very rare. You will find the occasional one, and it is certainly nothing like Thailand or the Philippines, which is probably where my bad experiences came from, seeing and learning about that. My apologies again to those people that are married to a Filipino or to a Thailand lady. I wish you all the luck, I really do. And I hope it works out well for you. But from what I'd seen in the past, it was never so great. And I could be completely wrong. Okay? I'm talking from my own personal experiences in this. And so over a period of time, we would chat via Messenger. And she would obviously use translation to translate my English, and I would use translator to translate her mine from there. Then we started video calling, and the only way we could video call was to actually be looking at each other. She would talk in Khmer, and once again using translator. Not ideal. Of course it's not ideal. It's never ideal when you can't actually talk to somebody in their own language. It's very, very difficult. So I'm very fortunate, and that is that Sophony is a person that is willing to learn, and she'll put her whole heart into something when she wants to learn it. And English was something that she wanted to learn. And we started off just very slowly. learning different things. I used to wander around my home back in Australia, just showing her items around the house, telling her what they were called, and then I would start going to things like the supermarkets in Australia, walking around, talking to her, pointing out things to her. She'd repeat them back in English to me, and it just grew and grew from there. Now, as you've seen, or may have seen in some of the videos already, her English on camera is not fluent, that's for sure. However, away from the camera, I can tell you it's very fluent. At the moment, she's still very shy to talking to the camera into English for fear of being judged. And I'm sure if there's any other expats out there with foreign wives doing YouTube or TikTok, etc., will tell you exactly that. Their partners or wives that don't come from an English-speaking background are very shy for a while talking English in a public domain, I suppose you could call it, because of fear of being judged. Okay. So from there, then I started making more trips over to Cambodia, and every time I landed in Phnom Penh specifically, I fell in love with the place more and more and more. And every time I landed, it just felt like home. It really did feel like home. I can't explain it. I've had other expats tell me, and I don't talk to a lot of other expats, but I've had other expats tell me that they feel exactly the same way from there. It brings a lot of happiness to you when you're here. And that's definitely one of the things that Sophony's brought into my life is happiness. I was earning exceptionally good money, 120,000 plus back in Australia. I had a beautiful home, cars, boats. I had it all, but I was never happy. I never felt fulfilled. And yet, here in Cambodia, I don't really have too much at all. I don't even own a car anymore. I own a motorbike, $800 motorbike that I bought second hand. Sophony has a motorbike as well. Yet, we are happy, very, very happy. For a while, we rented together, and now we're in a fortunate enough position that we've actually purchased the property. So foreigners can buy property here in Cambodia. You just can't buy houses or land because you can't, as a foreigner, you can't own anything that's on the ground. But we'll talk about that in another episode. I'll go through that because I've actually been invited through a real estate development company to do an interview with them exactly about that foreigners buying in Cambodia. So we'll get onto that later on. Loyalty is a huge thing for me, especially after I had a pretty bad upbringing as a child, very bad upbringing as a child, and then obviously a failed marriage that ended because of exactly that, loyalty. So loyalty was a big thing for me. And the one thing I found out about Cambodians is they're extremely loyal. When I made the decision that I wanted to actually take this relationship further, I did a lot of research on what was required, I guess, of me dating a Cambodian woman. And it was completely different to some of the other Asian countries, that's for sure. When Cambodian women enter into a relationship or a marriage, it's for life. They don't do it twice, they do it once, and one thing. And I've since found that out since I've been here. I've met some other Cambodian ladies that have actually separated from their husband and they've never remarried again. They've remained single. So if you can read between the lines here, if you're coming to Cambodia and you're going to meet a Cambodian woman, the chances are she'll be single and she would never, ever have been with another person before. Never. There was also a lot about public displays of affection. Cambodian women traditionally don't show a lot of public displays of affection, although that is starting to change as they see more and more foreigners come into the country and they're witnessing for themselves that it's not such a bad thing. Although You don't do it around any of the pagodas, inside the pagodas, around any Buddha statues. You don't hold hands, you don't kiss and cuddle. There was just a recent episode actually of a young Khmer couple, probably in the early 20s, who were doing a lot of cuddling and kissing in a pagoda. It quickly spread around social media as a very bad thing. So that's something that certainly doesn't take place. Family. They are very, very strongly connected in their family line, which was a big thing for me as well, because growing up in an extremely hostile environment as a child, having a connection to family was huge for me. And I could see the way Sophony and her older brother, her twin brother, and her two younger sisters, and her mum and dad all stayed connected and still stay connected. There's not a day goes by where they don't talk to each other or see each other in some form or another. Especially her parents. Her parents are almost like they are the king and the queen of the family, and they take care of everybody, even though they're now well into their 70s. They still take care of everybody, even still now. Money. So some of you are probably going to say, how much did I have to pay? Well, I can tell you categorically right now, not a single cent. There is a myth, oh, you got to pay a goat or a cow or X amount of dowry. No, nothing, not a single cent. And in actual fact, it was probably the reverse. I remember one particular time flying back to Australia from Phnom Penh, and Sophony asked me if I had any money on me for food whilst I was at the airport. And I said, no, it's okay, I've got my ATM card. And she said, the ATM fees are very expensive here using your Australian card. Here's $50 to take back with you. $50, that's a week's wages here for a lot of people. So that in itself was huge. I remember walking away from that conversation and leaving her behind that particular trip, and I could feel it inside my body right then and there that this is a good woman, and and I wasn't going to let this one go because I hadn't found that sort of connection back in Australia. Also, acceptance. Just acceptance. People here accept you. It doesn't matter whether you've got no money or whether you've got a lot of money. They accept you. They don't care if you're bald or you've got hair. They don't care if you're overweight or you're underweight. They don't care whether or not you're wearing old clothes. They accept you. They look for what's in the heart, not what's in the wallet. Okay? So if you're looking to come over here as an expat, whether it's for a holiday or whether it's coming over here to live, whatever you do, don't go flashing any money around. They don't want to know about it. They don't care about it, and they don't want to know about it. They're very minimalist people. They don't care for big flashy things. I remember for a while there, somebody and I lived in an apartment block. We were renting the apartment, 6 apartments there, and there was no one in that apartment block besides us that actually had a lounge or a TV. They don't care. They don't care for it. They're minimalist people. They live on very, very little, and they don't want for a real lot. That's why we don't own a car. They don't care for cars. They have a lot of cars over here. They have a lot of beautiful cars over here. And in an upcoming episode, I'm going to show you. There's an episode that's called Insect Bothering Me? Is this Cambodia? Because the area that I'm going to show you around is some very expensive homes, some very expensive cars. But those people have worked hard for it, and they're just choosing a different lifestyle, and good on them. Living in Cambodia is a very, very easy place to live. Every day it feels very relaxed. Is this Sophony doing this to me? Quite possibly. She makes my life very stress-free, that's for sure. She does little things in our relationship that still blow me away even over the number of years now. She'll get up in the morning and put toothpaste on my toothbrush. How many of you can say that? And she doesn't do it because she feels she owes me. She does it because she cares. She'll still get up in the morning and also make me a cup of coffee because she knows I like a cup of coffee in the morning and during the day. But I usually go and buy my coffee during the day, not in the morning. Working here is very easy to come by. Depends what you want to do. When I first made the move over here on a permanent basis, Sophony and I were actually managing a hostel. That was a lot of work, a lot of hours, and not a real lot of pay. But the lifestyle was okay. Like, it wasn't bad. I'm certainly not complaining, and I certainly don't regret doing it because I learned a lot and I met a lot of people. Speaking of people, if you're going to shift over here, don't get yourself heavily involved in the expat community. Sure, you can have a few expat friends, but if you really want to enjoy life and fulfill your life here in Cambodia, get to know the locals. Most of them nowadays actually speak English to a certain degree, to a fair bit actually. So you won't have any problems with that. And I'm going to show you more and more in upcoming videos exactly how easy it is as an expat talking English, going and buying things. There's a myth out there that you pay foreigner price or you pay locals price. Well, I don't know. I've personally never come across it, and I'm going to actually take on the challenge and prove that. I will literally go shopping soon. I've got something planned where I'll go to a random market and go and buy things that somebody's given me a list to buy and how much I should be paying for them. And we'll just find out for real whether or not people are going to charge me more because I don't speak any Khmer. I do speak a little bit of Khmer, but I'm going to not speak any Khmer at all. I spoke about loyalty before, and I spoke about non-judgmental. As I said, they're very non-judgmental people. They don't care. And these are all the reasons. And if you start adding all of these things up, loyalty, being non-judgmental, not worried about money, not worried about what you do for a job, you want to be involved in their family and involved in their lives, they'll accept you and they'll love you and care for you. Now let's talk about the word love. Love is an interesting word here in Cambodia. It basically means like. They don't use the word like. They will use the word love, and they'll use the word like very quickly. They won't use the word like. So just be prepared for that. The other thing is, if you are planning on coming over here and you would like to live here permanently and you would like to go into a relationship with somebody permanently, my suggestion is don't go hanging around the bars down here at the river in Phnom Penh. That's not where you're going to find your future partner, that's for sure. Unfortunately, just like every country, there is women that will try and take advantage, let's call it for what it is, try and take advantage of you. But let's flip that on the other side. You're there trying to take advantage of them because you've got $500 in your pocket and they probably haven't seen $500 in their lifetime. So you're out there flashing your cash around and they're going to take it. Simple as that. And good on them if they do. I've come across quite a few expats here that have said to me that they called it scam. They got scammed by a lady. I've asked them, where did you meet the lady? Oh, I met her in Street 13. Oh, where all the lady bars are. Yeah. Well, you didn't get scammed, mate. You took your money there, you flashed it around, you got drinking beers, and then your ego and testosterone levels grew, and you thought you had found yourself a future wife. No, you just found yourself somebody to enjoy a bit of time with. That's what you did. And let's be honest. And that can happen in any country. Absolutely any country. More so, sure, in countries like Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, etc. That's going to happen probably more in the spotlight because they are lower socioeconomic areas and the people don't earn a real lot and they see you as an ATM machine if you're going to start flashing it around for it. Cultural differences. Talk about cultural differences for a minute. Again, I'm talking from my own experiences. I fitted into the Cambodian cultural way very easily, very seamlessly. And again, that was thanks to Sophony. Sophony fitted into my ways very easily. She's very understanding of things that I prefer, and I understand things the way she prefers. And together we make that work. And as our heading in our description on the channel says, cultural fusion, and that's exactly what it is. And I'm very grateful that I've got somebody that I can share this life, my life with, and vice versa with her, because it has never been a struggle. It's just been a fusion of our different types of lives that have come together, that worked seamlessly together. We don't even have not even a little tiny disagreement. Never, ever. It's not in her nature, and it probably used to be in my nature, but since I've been living here, it certainly hasn't been in my nature. Actually, I have a sense of calmness about me all the time. And I have children that live back in Australia who from time to time will call and they'll talk about how hard things are, or this or that, or he's doing this or he's doing that. And I feel this heaviness come on me when that happens because I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to hear it because that's just in the past for me. That sort of lifestyle is just purely in the past. Living costs in Cambodia, thankfully again because I have Sophony in my life, my living costs are extremely low, and we'll do a breakdown on that at another time. Not in this particular video because this is just basically talking about why I live in Cambodia and why I date a Cambodian woman. Speaking of which, Sophony's actually just turned up to the coffee shop. Hello, Sophony. How are you?
Yeah, very good.
Very good. I've actually just been talking to everybody about us and why we live here together. Why you have a foreigner as a partner and why I have a Cambodian lady. Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy?
Very happy.
Yeah. And your side of things, why? Why do you have a foreigner as a partner?
Yeah. Foreigner, yeah.
You've never had a Cambodian partner before in your life? You've never had a Cambodian boyfriend?
No.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
No. But foreigner, yeah, when I come for like separately, mixing.
Yes.
Sometimes Cambodian man, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear foreigner or sorry, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So our stories are all in the past and we shouldn't bring them here with us, should we?
Yeah.
Our past. No. Start a new life, fresh life, exciting life, happy life.
Yeah.
We also do enjoy travelling together a lot too, which is quite good. So we do get around different Asian countries, and now that we have a YouTube channel, we'll take you on some of those journeys with us. It's quite amazing what we can find, and not only just in Cambodia but also outside of Cambodia. We do have a trip coming up in roughly 6 or so months coming up. It may be just the two of us. We may be taking some of Sophony's Cambodian friends with us, so we'll see how that goes anyway. That's later in the year, but we'll certainly be filming it all. How's your day been? Sophony? Good? You've had a good day?
Yeah, very good day.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time?
All the
time? All the time happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you done today? What did you do today?
Today cook.
Cook?
Yeah, cook. Eat lunch ready.
Cook and eat lunch? Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes work a little.
Sometimes work a little.
Yeah. Sometimes sleep.
Sometimes
Sleep a little. Get up.
fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, bring that to an end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and write comments as well. Ask me questions. Ask us questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about us? What do you want to know about dating in Cambodia? Do you want to come over here for a holiday and check it out? Would you like to get in contact with us? Either way, we're okay with that. If you want to come over here for the right reasons, come over here for the right reasons. Don't come over here for the wrong reasons. So Cambodian people don't need it, and you probably shouldn't bring, as she just said, shouldn't bring your past stories with you to enjoy a good life here. But for now, till next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.